If you've been chasing a myriad of symptoms and not being able to figure out what they are, you've gone to doctor trying to find out what's wrong with you, they can't tell you, you've run a battery of tests and nothing comes up, and you get this pressing attitude from your caregivers that it's all in your head. There's nothing really wrong. If that's going on with you, it may be because you're experiencing Lyme disease. There's a few other things that can cause that. Lyme disease is one of the worst ones that's out there. You can actually overcome Lyme disease, but to do that, you have to figure out why you got it in the first place. Most people think it's a tick-borne disease, and that's what's publicized at, but that's not the case with very many people. There's a multitude of other ways that people catch Lyme disease. There's mosquitoes, there's biting flies, there's gnats. Down south in places like Louisiana, it's commonly transferred from spider bites. It's in the blood bank in Minnesota and Wisconsin, 2-3% of the blood bank. It's been transferred through raw foods. It's been transferred through placental transfer in fetuses. It's given to babies from nursing moms. It's transferred when people kiss, when they're intimate. There's a multitude of ways to transfer Lyme disease. And it comes down to it, we got to understand there's a fluid transfer disease. That means whenever a fluid exchanges from one host that's infected to one that isn't, the one that isn't is being exposed. And that's pretty common with all kinds of classes of diseases, and it's not just tick-borne. So that's one of the biggest things. And when we look at the whole concept of why we get sick, we've got to understand that our immune system was designed to be so efficient we should never get sick. Something has to beat up the immune system for us to be able to get sick. And if we understand that 50% of the immune system is in the gut, it's a really good place to start. Hippocrates said all disease starts in the gut. If half the immune system is there, it's really confirming that he was onto something really important. So we look at how the gut functions. We look at the gut wall. The gut wall is covered with these microvilli that increase the surface area of a 30-foot tube about the average size of your finger to the surface area of a tennis court. It's really, really huge. And the microvilli is like little fingers like this, and they secrete mucus, and in between those fingers and inside the mucus where something called the flora or the microbiota lives. It's mostly bacteria. It's got yeast in it. It's got all kinds of different things that grow on in there, and it has everything to do with health. It does the bulk of our digestion. It has immune function. It has detoxification functions. It makes every hormone that we make. It makes every neurotransmitter that we make. It communicates with the brain, other parts of our body. It's extremely important. And whenever the gut wall, the microvilli get beat up, the flora has no place for it to hide. It washes out. It allows pathogenic things to grow like candida. Candida is one of the biggest predisposing factors to Lyme disease, and it is absolutely the biggest complication of Lyme disease. It's in almost everybody who has Lyme disease has a major problem with candida, whether it was there before or after it came. Sometimes it's in both, but it's always a really huge issue. And we've got to understand what goes on with that, other predisposing factors to beat up our immune system, so we can reverse the process and learn how to heal. And with that, I'm going to invite you to a webinar where we go over all this and we show you really what's going on, give you a lot of understanding, can give you a lot of rest. We show why the diagnostic procedures don't work. We show why the treatment doesn't work. We show what's going on inside the body, how all these symptoms are connected, and then how you start to deal with it. So we invite you to join us. Click the link down below. It'll take you to the sign-up page. We don't share that information with anybody. We just use it in our own site. So click the link below, put your name and email in there. You get a link to join us with a webinar. You'll be glad you did.